So if you were to ask me which is one of the most exciting vehicles for 2022, I will have to say that it's a GR Corolla. We've been waiting for Toyota to do a high performance Corolla for quite some time, and it's finally here. And today, Toyota is unveiling a more track focused version of the GR Corolla called the Morizo Edition. Let's check it out. By the way, again, I am setting up a studio where I can talk about new vehicle debuts, some new car news. It's still in the works, that's why it kind of looks a little bland. We'll be hanging up some artwork and some other stuff. I'm actually currently out in Texas. I recorded this before going to Texas for a Toyota event where I'm seeing a bunch of new vehicles that they're coming out with, and the GR Corolla is one of them. Now, what does Morizo Edition stand for? What does Morizo stand for? Other than rhyming with chorizo, Morizo is actually the nickname that Akio Toyoda, the president of Toyota, uses when he goes racing, and Morizo is actually the mascot of an expo center in Japan. But that's also Akio Toyoda's racing name, so that's where Morizo comes from. It's not that exciting.
Enjoy my GR Corolla.
So what makes this Morizo a more track-focused version of the GR Corolla? You still have the 1.6-liter 3-cylinder turbocharged engine making 300 horsepower, but instead of 273 pound-feet of torque, it now makes 295 pound-feet of torque. So peak torque will now come between 3,250 to 4,600 RPMs. The Morizo Edition GR Corolla also gets a close ratio manual transmission and shorter differential gears for a more satisfying acceleration across the whole power band. Now, there are some other ways that the GR engineers really made this a more track-focused version, but one of the most important ways is that they cut some weight. They cut nearly 100 pounds out of the GR Corolla Circuit Edition model. That weighs at 3,292 pounds. The Morizo now weighs at 3,186 pounds, and they say that the primary weight reduction came from the removal of the rear seats. So you don't have rear seats in the Morizo Edition because you don't need to take anybody out on the track with you. It's just you and the track. You don't need any passengers. And interestingly enough, they also removed a bunch of other stuff from the back. So it says the two-seater design also allowed for additional weight removal in the rear with no rear door speakers or rear window regulators. Even the rear wiper blade and the motor were pulled to save every single ounce. So this doesn't have rear wipers. It doesn't have rear speakers. It doesn't have any rear window switches or anything like that. It's just pretty empty back there. So now that you don't have rear seats, you have room for your track tires. Toyota says that you can put 4 track tires in the back of the GR Corolla Morizo. So if you go on the track and you go crazy and mess up your tires, you have additional tires in the back. Just put them aside before you go on the track. Don't take them out on the track with you. Now, other than dropping some weight, the Morizo Edition also gets some more grip, courtesy of Michelin Pilot Sport Cup 2 tires with 18-inch forged alloy wheels, which are actually lighter than the ones on the regular GR Corolla. And the Morizo Edition will come equipped with red-painted monotube shock absorbers and have unique suspension tuning for a precision driving fit for racing. You know, I can only just read the press release because I haven't driven this and I don't know how it's going to feel. So once I do, I don't know if I'll ever get to drive a Morizo Edition, but I'm hoping I do. I most certainly will drive the GR Corolla, but a Morizo Edition seems pretty limited because they are only making 200 of these. This is going to be a special edition, and 200 of these only 200 will be made, and I'm sure they're going to sell out pretty quick. Now, to make it even more track focused, GR engineers have increased the rigidity with 2 additional rear strut braces, and its frame has an additional 349 spot welds and over 6 meters more of structural adhesive than the standard Corolla hatchback frame. Pretty crazy. Nonetheless, the GR Corolla Morizo Edition still keeps the GR4 all-wheel drive system that we saw on the regular GR Corolla. So you have selectable power distribution between the rear and front wheels. You can do 30-70, 50-50, or 60-40, depending on what kind of situation you're in. And then you also have a dual limited slip differential. Now, of course, visually, there have been some upgrades as well. Not much noticeable on the outside, but on the inside, you'll find some exclusive red and black treatments on the ultra suede and leather sport seats. And you'll have an ultra suede wrap steering wheel along with the red straight line. The shift knobs have some ultra suede and the parking brake. So yeah, because, you know, your hands get sweaty on the track, so you need grip. You don't want leather. You want ultra suede. Other than that, They got rid of the rear seats to save weight, but they didn't get rid of the tech, so you still have the 12.3-inch digital instrument cluster in the GR Corolla Morizo edition, and you still have the infotainment in the middle with the touchscreen that houses the new Toyota infotainment system with wireless Apple CarPlay and wireless Android Auto, so you can go on the track while listening to your Apple Music. The only thing that they really did on the outside of the Morizo is add exclusive front brake ducts. You still have the carbon fiber hood, the vented bulge hood, and the GR4 stamp side rockers that you have on the Circuit Edition. Those are still on the Morizo Edition. And color-wise, the GR Corolla Morizo Edition will only be available in 2 colors, including White Chill Pearl and a Morizo Edition exclusive New Matte Finished Gray. That's the name, New Matte Finished Gray. There's no special name for that. Don't know the pricing yet, but Toyota says that this will be available in dealerships in 2023. Pricing will be announced later this year. I don't know how much it will start. I'm guessing the regular GR Corolla will start somewhere around $35,000 to $40,000. This will probably fetch north of like 50 to 55. Guessing because there are only 200 of these that are going to be made, they will go pretty fast. And I'm guessing dealerships will probably charge well above MSRP for this. But I guess you can place your deposit or whatever when order books open, which will happen at the end of this year. But that's really it. It's a more track-focused GR Corolla. It looks pretty cool. And that's what Morizo means. Now you know that. And thanks for watching. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Take care. Peace. By the way, let me know how you like this whole setup, because I'd like to know. Should I do this more or no? Should I just stick to reviewing cars sitting behind the steering wheel? Let me know.
Fast as you can.
Okay.
Let's go for it.
My name is Ryan Turk, RyanTuerck, and we are going to take the GR Corolla Circuit Edition on a test drive around Eagles Canyon.
Nice.
So we're going to start in track mode, which is 50-50 torque split. I'm going to be running the intelligent manual transmission, which is helps with the automatic downshifting for the rev matching. Sorry, not automatic downshifting. Helps with the rev matching on the downshifts. And other than that, we're just gonna put the car through its paces. I don't know if that meant go or not. Good. Good to go? Yeah. Okay. Dude, this car is so good. I feel like it's a really
the way this thing grips is insane.
It's a really well balanced package from the the torque and the power to the wheels, the suspension,
yeah,
the tire size.
And that was on 50-50, right?
That was on 50-50, so that's track mode. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. The brakes work really, really well.
Well, that was awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem, man.